let's talk about the what next, starting with Saban. What do you think? Is he going to start working at your four-letter network? What do you think, Greg? Is he going to go in the media? Is he going to go with Miss Terry and go travel the world? What do you think?
Well, he did go to Italy last summer and got a taste of it and did not look real happy in those pictures. So I don't.
Well, if you're not happy in Italy, then there's, maybe you should retire, just like really start focusing and buckle down on being happy.
Well, I think he ate a shaved turkey salad every day for lunch, and that was just the first of many courses at those Italian lunches.
Okay.
So I think it's fast. I mean, the guy is remarkably successful in everything he touches, whether it's his real estate. He owns Mercedes-Benz dealerships. He's very, very involved in multiple lucrative opportunities. I mean, he's a conglomerate in his own right. So he'll be very successful in whatever he pursues. If he does go on TV, I think he'd be terrific. As you know, I mean, the efficiency of the TV world is probably not something that it will take him time to, get used to. But I also think too, there could be things on the horizon where he could become a commissioner of sorts, where he could be very, very instrumental in what the next version of college football might look like, assuming realignment continues and assuming we kind of morph more into a model that has 50, 60 teams. And it's all kind of under one umbrella. I mean, there's a lot of speculation about us moving in that direction as a sport. And I can't think of anyone that would be more qualified to assist in that movement and help put in place some things that would be beneficial to not just the schools, but to the student athletes as well.
Really? So, because I'm looking for a hero. Honestly, I'm serious, man. I've asked Sankey if he's be interested in being a commissioner of college football. I mean, Chip Kelly was 1,000,000% onto something, Greg, when he said what he said about remove football from every other sport at these schools and let the Pac-12 continue to exist for every other sport but football, because regional action makes sense in terms of dollars, cents, geography. It makes sense in terms of rivalry. It makes sense on every level. And football, let's remove them from it. And then start getting some like-minded schools together. By like-minded, I mean revenue and issues about scheduling and NIL and portal, and come up with guidelines, not just for the schools, but for the kids need protection. How many kids are being told, we'll give you this money, we'll give you that. And then suddenly somebody enters the portal, takes their job a year later, and the kids are like now going to school 2, school 3. They'll never wind up with a degree. So, somebody's got to step in. Are you saying Saban could be that guy? And for what organization does it exist?
I don't. It's something that is purely as I have the same concerns you do. Sure. I have the same hopes and aspirations that's where we go in time. Mostly, I always look at it from a player's perspective. I think that'd be beneficial to the player to get clarity and to not have bad actors that are giving them misinformation. So I think Coach Saban, and I don't know if he has an interest in this, it seems like it'd be a lot of paperwork and something that might not be too intriguing for him. But as far as an advisory role, I can't think of anyone more qualified to help and assist in a transition that could take place in the next 5-10 years of college football. And then who's next for Alabama? Dan Lanning, everyone was already putting him in a script A pretty much. And he's staying in Oregon. He put out a video of him telling his players he's not going. What do you think? Well, I think that Dan Lanning was, he was definitely on the short list of candidates, but his buyout is remarkably prohibitive. He's a really expensive option. And Alabama's flush with cash. There's no doubt about it. But when you start to think about, well, you got to pay the coach this, you got the buyout of this, and then you're taking away from NIL potentially, you're kind of robbing Peter to pay Paul. So I do think that they are being pragmatic with their approach and are balancing everything. I never thought Dan Lanning was really going to be in a position to leave Oregon. He's got a tremendous amount of resources. They've had early success there, and I think he wants to continue to build. But there's a lot of really good options out there. It's just a matter of what's valued by Greg Byrne and the small firm that's helping him in the small committee of people that he's listening to kind of put it together. But the names off the top of everyone's head would be the usual suspects. I mean, Kalen DeBoer, Mike Norvell, that all the same people that's on everyone's list. I would assume that the calls would be made there, but I'd make calls all over the place. I'd make someone say no before I moved on, because I think it is a very desirable job.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.